Hey everyone, this is Krish. Hope you're doing well. I'm still in Central Park. I think this is my second video I'm doing here. No idea where in Central Park. I believe it's like 1,000 acres and I'm somewhere in there. It's just brilliantly beautiful. Yeah, of course, it's this time of the year, so you don't see the leaves and whatnot, but it doesn't matter. It's still beautiful. It's probably going to be a whole lot more dense in summertime or spring when spring comes along. But you know, it doesn't matter. This is nice and lovely in its own beautiful way. Okay, enough about this part of Central Park. Back to the purpose of this video. I just want to talk about our product deployments. I think I mentioned that in one of my previous videos, really quick. I think we are at version 1048 if memory serves me right. You'll see the version number at the bottom when you go to the home page, or actually the sign-in page. So that tells you if you've had a new deployment. Sometimes we have brand new big features. In those cases we publish them more explicitly. You'll see a graphic when you sign in. It tells you that there is a new feature you can click and there's a video and whatnot. Otherwise, if you're doing minor changes or enhancements, we don't necessarily have those videos, but you can keep an eye out for those version numbers at the bottom so you know where we're at and when the last deployments have been, sort of. So we're at 48, 6 or 7 weeks since we went live. Initially we had thought about doing a deployment once a week, or maybe twice a week, or initially we had thought maybe once even in 2 weeks, just to make a bunch of bug fixes and enhancements and then do the deployment. But as it panned out, we had to make more changes just because we probably fixed more bugs initially the first week when we went live, and then since then we've made a lot of feature changes and enhancements and whatnot. So once in 2 weeks was it was so far out that it was not even in the consideration immediately after we went live. Then we were thinking about doing one deployment a week. We thought that was reasonable, because we have a bunch of different feature branches, and there's a cost of merging them into develop and then deploy, and then merging it into master before we deploy to prod. But even that hasn't panned out as we expected, in a good way, because we've found the need to do even more frequent deployments. So I think we are averaging about maybe one a day. I think that's roughly, if I'm not wrong, we are averaging like one deployment a day. Obviously, as we get into the new year, it might be a little bit lesser, just because we have bigger features that we're going to start working on. But even having said that, given the size of our team, which is pretty small, we might do more deployments than we envision. It may not be once a day or one a day on an average, but I would be surprised if it's any fewer than like 2 or maybe even 3 per week. So there is a cost associated with it, like I said earlier, because we have a Git process where we obviously have feature branches, but we merge them onto several branches along the way and deploy to different lower environments before we merge it into master and then push to prod. So I mean there is that overhead, but short of doing that, we would have to tag along more changes onto a single branch and push all of them to prod. That makes testing more difficult once we push those changes to prod. So this has been working all right so far. So we keep our changes scoped small enough. They're not too small, to be honest with you, but they're small enough. So if we needed to make some changes, or we needed to identify issues introduced by certain builds, that's not terribly difficult for us to do. So that's the process we've been following so far. Thanks for watching.